Welcome to the January 6th episode of Thalmor Radio. I'm your host, Thalmor, coming to you live from a bunker deep in a Kentucky mountain valley. Folks, the fucking radio mast got blown up by a mortar shell. Half the production crew got taken out by a machine gun. Usually I run a skeleton crew anyways, because if I pay people, if I hire them and pay them, I lose money and I got to pay taxes and it's a mess. But thankfully, we somehow got the final radio mast working so I can broadcast this show. First show of 2023. I regret to inform the hoes and the haters, we are in a new year, broadcasting once more. I called Vane. Can you sing the Vane song again? I am sorry, but Vane will just have to listen to the recording. Sorry, you gotta be here. You gotta be here. This kind of performative magic belongs to those who show up. I'm sorry, Vane. You have to wait. You have to listen to the recording. You weren't here. And now you're cooked. It's 3 a.m. You know what? In my ass, it's 5 a.m. Give me the song. Sorry. Gotta do the recording. And you know what? Zig said hopefully the recording was actually working. If it's not working, you're just kind of fucked. It's just how it is. You know? All right. So, I'm going to open up with the biggest topic, or the topic that means the most to me. And that is that I need to talk about the war. I need to talk about HOGG attacking Fortuna. Okay? And there's a lot of different angles, a lot of different elements. But I'm going to start off with the nitty-gritty here, which is that, folks, it did not go well at all. Okay? The charge of the Hog Riders was more like the charge of the Light Brigade. Okay? It did not go well at all. First off, there was bad omens right away, because Dennison months ago was spamming the everyone peeing at the Hand of Fate Discord with some random bullshit. I forgot what it was. I think it was I think it was little penis pictures, literal not gay porn, but little bare penises. And so I was like, oh my gosh. So I disabled everyone pings. And so then the day before the Blitz, another everyone ping went out in the announcements room. And it was Doug Suck, hey, we're going to go to war. If you can be on, DM people. And I didn't see it because I turned everyone pings off. So Dennison DM'd me the afternoon of the Blitz and was like, hey, Thalmor, can you be on? And I was like, yeah. It's a bad omen right away. I almost couldn't even join the Blitz because I turned off everyone pings. But then finally, we do the Blitz. Okay, and why do we attack? I don't know anything. So who knows if I'm missing information, if it's deep below the surface or what. It is my understanding we attacked because our decision makers suspected that Fortuna was going to attack us. And so our two options were, I guess, either hope they don't and be on the defensive if they do, or at least have the aggressor advantage now so that, maybe it can go a little bit more our way. That was basically the options that were, I think, presented to us. And I think our decision makers decided we were going to attack first. So that is what happened. We attacked, and it did not go well. We attacked. There wasn't I think a bunch of Guardian couldn't make it, and some Hand of Fate couldn't make it. I think Grumpy had a pretty good show up. Actually, an excellent show up, if I remember correctly. But a bunch of Guardian people couldn't make it, and some Hand of Fate people couldn't make it. We attack, and immediately, like the Syndicate counter machine go burr. Like MCM is like a four like monitors going, shuffling counters in our direction. And so, like, I was personally zeroed out within less than 24 hours. Like, it was a rough one. I was dead in the water after like a couple turns. It went pretty bad. I think there were some bigger people who remained competitive for longer. There might be some people at HOGG that aren't underwater, but like, it's pretty bad. Now, hold on, I'm interested in what Big One Borg said. Fortuna had a large numerical advantage in mid, lower tier, even high tier. FA-wise, HOGG strips our partner for the war. Milcom wise, HOGG needs to prepare to a safer war, securing upper chance of outstanding. Let them for what will happen. And there have been some pretty fucking terrible takes since the Blitz. Some really, really bad ones. And there is a fundamental problem with HOGG. And this problem is there just aren't any members. I think between tiering charts seem to give us 152 members. I'm not sure how, because when I count up the 4 alliances, it's more like 131. So I don't know, maybe outshores, maybe you add up all the people in outshores, you get to that 100 offshores, I should say. You get to 150. But, Fortuna has 400. There's one block with like 900 people. Like, Fortuna, like, yeah, we have these big-ass whales who, like, got all the cities, but there's also only like 3 of them. And this is ultimately this is still a numbers game. And so, like, I thought about it, and it's like, I think in any war we got into, like, we would be on the defensive. Juana says, are HOGG afraid of our city 30s? We are afraid because we look at them and all we see is a bunch of ants. It's pretty wild. Like a blanket of ants is the thing. Tarok, Fortuna has 327 nations. I actually just counted that. I saw a tier list that said 400. I don't know where these tier lists are getting all these numbers from. Because the tier list I saw gave us 150. So, I don't know. Kind of weird. Maybe they are just making it up. Bot people suck. Bot people do suck. I have been an advocate. Stop relying on bots. But people rely on bots even more. And so I think HOGG does have a numbers problem in that there's just too, like, we would probably be like nuking and missiling in a lot of wars we would do, but it is what it is. We hit all 4. We hit Terminus Est, we hit Weebinism, we hit Eclipse, and we hit the Syndicate. We hit all 4. I think we had the best coverage on Weebinism, I think. Like I said, there's been some really bad takes from the war. I think I'm trying to think what's a really bad take. I think Hawks Baba is still on the phone. First off, Hax Baba was probably a spy, so who knows? But Hax Baba was like, well, this is what happens when you give your FA over to Hand of Fate instead of a competent alliance. And so it's okay. It's okay, buddy. I think Hax Baba was in Guardian Grumpy. No, Guardian Grumpy. That's not a fucking alliance. I think he was in Grumpy, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and he joined Eclipse. So, Inger had the take that like, actually, I'll just copy and paste what he said. All right, here it is. Let me grab it here. Inger, 1/3/2013. Letting a hand of fate hit the block. Space. The whole block made a big mistake. Joy. Hitting and boom. 0 mil in 1 day. And so I actually parodied this and said, letting TKR lead the block. The whole block made a big mistake. Joy. Hitting and boom. Rolled 3 times in 1 year. And that was really funny. Spinks also had some horrible takes, but when I like confronted him, like he was shucking and jiving really hard, but when I confronted him, he said he was just trolling, and so I'm choosing to believe him whenever he talks shit that he's just trolling, and so I choose to leave him. Like I am leaving him alone. I am letting him speak his truth because he said he was trolling. I'm choosing to believe him. I think that was about it. Sinnoh had some bad takes, I think. Let me see if there's any others. I'm just searching Ron, basically. Oh, and Inger also said that, like, he also said that, like, because of this war, so it was something along the lines of, because of this war, there would never be a treaty between Hand of Fate and TKR. And it's like, yeah, we don't want to reform Hollywood either. Okay, I think that's about it. I'm not going to keep like looking because that's just dead air, and I'm not going to do that. See, like Sinnoh can't even like talk English, though. That's the thing. Sinnoh, when Hand of Fate is running, when Hand of Fate is running your where you do have good reason to, like, Sinnoh can't even like speak. It's really strange. Thalmor, are you sick? Yeah, I've had a little something for like 2 weeks now. But this actually, today is when I feel most better. I actually feel pretty normal. I just got a bit of a cough and some drainage. Hand of Fate is lower tier than Grumpy. Yeah. Tarok, Thalmor, what are your thoughts on Carthago making it through the war without being looted, and then 3 days after the war ends, they get looted by an old war? That is really fun. Well, so it was a Dark Brotherhood guy that did it, and Kev has been like shitting and coming himself about how Dark Brotherhood is like super base now. And I didn't know what he was talking. I believed him, but I didn't know what he was talking about because for many years in this game's history, Dark Brotherhood has been just complete useless dog shit. But now they're fucking out here like still like looting banks. So I guess he's right. I guess he's right because that's not easy. Like looting a bank, you know, most alliances like take good care of that shit. But Dark Brotherhood of all fucking people are out here doing it. So good on them. Good on them. Okay. Sketchy, come at me, bro. Um I'm sketchy. I got this. I'm like Dark Brotherhood has sketchy now. So that actually speaks well to them, because I think Sketchy's a good person to have in your corner. Or he was. I can't say that much more nowadays. Sketchy, are you still good at your job? I'm the best at what I do. I would expect no answer less. There's also a guy on the forums. Hold on, let me actually look it up on my. There's a guy named Caden I want to talk about because I'm in love with him. Like, sometimes people like, people will donate to e-girls because they like look through the screen and they fall in love. And I'm kind of that way right now with Caden. So the war started on Sunday, right? The war started on Sunday. And it would be really funny. So the reason why we hit was because we expected to like get hit eventually, like I said earlier, right? And Caden is the Weebinism like upper gov. He's like third in command or something, right? So he's not a nobody. He is a somebody. He is a real human being. And in response to our declaration of war, he said this. He said, "We were going to destroy you guys anyway, so let's go." So Caden basically confirming that Fortuna was imminently going to hit us anyways, which we suspected, which is why we attacked. So hashtag like vindicated. And so people are like, oh, hand of HOGG, retard, and then like 30 minutes later, their upper gov is like, yeah, we were going to attack you. And fucking Pascal's like, cope. Well, maybe it is cope, but I think what I'm saying is right. I think what I'm saying is pretty right, honestly. And like, of course, you guys would deny it though, because you're the representatives of your. Is Fortuna a spear or a block? Hey, are you guys a spear or a block? I actually don't know. I'm willing to guess a block because you guys don't have like a lot of prots. They're not really the same thing. It's a treaty between TS and Eclipse, but like, the Weebinism is the thing. Although Weebinism does have its own separate treaty, so you have this like this three-way like treaty, even though you have the tie between TS and Eclipse. They sit in a room and watch anime. Yeah. Tarok, to be fair, Thalmor, seeing how Kane has deteriorated from being guardian upper gup in years past to a cat girl space whisker princess, I don't know if that's anything to take serious. That's some hardcore brain drama. So, I'm not just in love with Caden because he confirmed that they were going to hit us anyways. That was just the tip of the iceberg. The other thing that happened was he was advocating for like disbanding governments. Let me find the other post. Okay, actually it's two posts, but the second one's only funny with the first one. So oh fuck. Okay, well, in this thing I got the relevant section. So this was in the, what thread is this? This is the name withheld surrenders to Midgard server. And Kane says in it that the loser was allowed to keep their alliance structure intact. That's merciful in my book. And I responded to him and said, please never stop posting. So Caden is also of the belief that like alliance leadership should be like, I guess, guillotined as part of peace terms. So that's cool. But that compounds with a second post, which in light of this is a bit more interesting. And it's this. And this is the whole post, but what's relevant to me is the last part, which is that's my contribution to this topic. I saw an ignorant comment and I had to correct it. Let's get back to the topic at hand, which is HOGG's imminent demise. So, like, okay, I thought HOGG's imminent demise was like, we're going to disband because war is hard. And now it's like, well, I don't know. Caden also thinks alliance leadership should be guillotined in peace terms. So is Weebinism going to push for like Horsecock to like be perma-rolled, to like be removed as leader? Like, what's going to is Sweet Ronnie D going to be put on trial and then put against a wall? Like, if Caden got his way, what would really happen? And so these questions are interesting. And so now, because of them, I'm in love with Caden. And I wish her the best. I actually thought Caden was a he because I assume everyone's a he, but in their one post, I just read that they're calling themselves a she. So I guess Caden's a she. Ronnie's put on trial for war crimes. It's like I saw this. Like, there's a story from a couple years ago from Tennessee in which like this like it was like a 90-year-old. It was this 90-year-old dude, and he was like literally a tower guard at one of the death camps in Nazi Germany. But that was enough. So like American, like the FBI extradited him to Germany to face trial. That's what's going to happen with Sweet Ronnie D. Even though Sweet Ronnie D is like 80 years old, he's going to be Nuremberged by Caden. Caden is going to get the papers together and accuse Sweet Ronnie D of crimes against non-whales. And his sentence is going to be a tax farm in the Enterprise for the rest of his nation's existence. It's going to be terrible, folks. It's going to be terrible. Okay. I think it's basically everything with the war. I disagree. Like, I think HOGG was right to attack. I think the Blitz was bad. Like, the war is going bad. Like, we are nuking and missiling within less than 24 hours. Like, that's actually pretty terrible. But I don't think it's a condemnation of like HOGG or the alliances they're in. Like, sometimes this is a political game that's very fluid. Sometimes you just get dealt a bad hand. Sometimes the situation just plays out that you're fucked, and you gotta do what you gotta do and make the best of it. So the shucking and jiving that like, oh, HOGG sucks. Oh, Hand of Fate actually sucks dick. It's like, well, I think that's pretty wrong, but it is what it is. And I am the Hand of Fate Internet Defense Force. I will respond to shucking and jiving, and I will defend Horsecock's honor. So, no matter where you say Hand of Fate bad, unless it's 110 IQ tag. If it's below 110 IQ, I will respond. Tarok, genuine question. Are blitzes even a thing that are expected if people are sitting there watching for it? Is it a blitz? HOGG attacks and MCM and pop-up counted by minutes. Is that an actual blitz? I would say so, because because there have been cases in the past in which two alliances blitz each other at the same time. Like, yeah, a blitz is just, to me, a coordinated mass attack. Blitzes don't even have to be an update. What's the argument that's not a blitz? Maybe I'm missing something. What's the argument that's not a blitz? Fortuna did. It's less that Fortuna had a numbers advantage and more that HOGG had a number disadvantage. I said this earlier in the show, and I'll say it again. HOGG has a really big problem with just having no members in it overall. Like, yeah, they're big, but I'm really struggling to see a war in which we wouldn't be doing this. You know, having to go guerrilla pretty quick. Yeah, I think we do need a mass AA of some kind. Lysander says so. Thai Cataclysm. If they're willing to join, I think that would be a good addition. Yeah, Tarlock, like a blitz can be really shitty and bad, but still be a blitz. I remember Katie argued for like a year ago that upper tier is all that matters in war. I I specifically did not argue that. I argued that like wait, actually yeah, I think I did argue that. But I like it wasn't that it was all that matters. I argued that it was like of all tiers, upper tier matters most. I didn't argue that it was all that matters though. And I gotta give props here. Like okay, this is the hog cope hour, but like the syndicate and eclipse, like they really did a good job. Like they countered quick, they countered competently, and now they seem to be cycling competently as well. Like they're not they're not shitty. They're doing and have done what they should ideally. So props to them, straight up. I like to think that I'm not like a TS man, like a mindless TS man mad person. And like even like I disagree with Eclipse on a lot of stuff that they've done, but I can't say that they're shitty either, like competent wise. Okay, I think that's it for the war. Um, what else is there? I don't think Fortuna is like Eclipse Syndicate and we like that's a fair block. It's like 300 people, and they got some mass and they got some money, but they're not like I don't think they're uncompetitively large. Like I don't think they should shrink at all. I think they should stay where they're at. In fact, if they added like one more alliance, I don't think it'd be that bad. I agree. Hog is too small. We do. If Cataclysm joined us, that would be awesome. They would probably be a really good fit. I don't know who else though. Carthago is free, and I'll be talking about Carthago here in a minute. But okay, that was the Hog Cope Hour. If you missed my performance at the beginning, you will just have to listen to the recording. Sorry, the magic only happens live. It's like a magic show; it only happens live. Let's talk about actual like real stuff. Oops, that's not it. Hold on. Actually, is that my clipboard? Fuck, no, it's not. That's something else. Okay, let's talk about war's ending. So, name Withheld surrendered. Oh, actually, I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. I want to talk about the war for one more minute, which is I talked about this in Orbis debate form, and Pascal basically called me a retard. And maybe he's right, but I'm going to say it here again because it's on my mind, and I think I'm right. I'm not unconvinced here. What we saw happen, we see one thing happening now. We saw one thing happen last year. Eclipse and Rose were able to thrash Guardian and Grumpy with one hand behind their back. And now, even on the offensive with Hand of Fate, Guardian and Grumpy are once again getting fucked in the ass. I do not want to see people using Guardian and Grumpy as a boogeyman to justify uncompetitive top heavy groupings. Okay? Because the data is out here now. And I do not think that sentiment reflects the data. And so there you go. That's what I think. Okay, now let's talk about something else. Let's talk about war's ending. Should I talk about Withheld surrendering, or should I talk about Cata surrendering first? Let's talk about Cata and Paradise surrendering. Cata and Paradise pieced out. What were the terms of this? I will go to the forums and look. I don't think there were much of any. That's not it. That's not it. End to the catatonic war. That's it. Cataclysm and Paradise hereby admit defeat to Rose and the war. No new wars we declared after tonight's day change. Okay, so it was just a white piece. Okay. I don't have anything to say because it's just a white piece. Gosh, the fucking peace thread between Midgard and Name Withheld is really big. And there's a bunch of terms. And I'm not going to talk. Like, I already talked about the terms. So, surrender and war name. The surrender is end of the catatonic war, and the war name is catatonic war. What's significant about this, Kev? Oh, okay. The terms was a surrender, and the war name is catatonic war. Gotcha. Okay. Was catatonic war Rose's idea? Because I don't know, the precedent of like the winners naming it, that makes sense to me. I think that is a nice like organic change from like the schizophrenia of having the masses vote on the name to the point where like people who didn't like all the micro members who didn't even fight get to like name a war like come blast zone 3. Like I prefer the idea of winners naming it. That makes sense to me. Now what's this? Peace time to nap. Oh, is this the fucking or is this the Val? Oh my gosh. For a fucking alliance that's supposed that made this big shuck and jive about disbanding, Saval sure does love to post useless fucking threads. Goodness gracious. I remember this. Fucking Or the White Rose got hit because they got caught plotting, basically. And there's this big boo-hoo about them leaving the game, and Saval still feels the need to post threads. and get updates from his friends. It's like, come on, buddy, come on. You're one person in a dead alliance that you killed, and you want to still get updates. Shake my head, shake my head. Okay, so that's the piecing. Wizel's gone. Okay, I talk about TKR. So it's TKR news. It's time to talk about the orange people and what's going on with the orange people. Besides, oh yeah, hold on. Actually, three of these topics have to do with the orange people. The orange leader is different. The orange people surrendered. They bent the knee to people, and then the orange people dropped Carthage. They salted Carthage. So let's talk about the orange people bending the knee first. So actually, yeah, what are the final terms of this? Gosh, why is this 5 pages anyways? There's exactly 100 posts in this fucking thing. Midgard wins. Withheld admits defeat and surrenders. Withheld acknowledges the CB as legitimate. Withheld and Midgard agree the name of the war is Bifrost Blitz. So, like, it's not enough that the Blitz has to be frosty, it also has to be bisexual. So, okay. Carthago and Aurora agree to set previous grievances behind them and make good faith efforts towards better relations going forward. This term seems autistic, but like I said in the last show, I've actually done something like this in real life with the guy I was beefing with, and it actually worked. So, Carthago and the Commonwealth agree that the dissolution of backrooms isn't attributable to any one reason, and neither alliance shoulders full responsibility for it. This is really funny, actually. I don't know any of the drama with backrooms or anything, but like, this is a really funny term. Evil Piggy and the Commonwealth Midgard agreed to peace and reset relations. Was Piggy like mogging Midgard so hard that they couldn't take it anymore, and they just like they had to get this peace term in? Was this little girl just driving them insane? That's funny. Withheld and Midgard agreed to a 2-month nap, which ends on Saturday, March 4th, agent. That's fine. All lines go back to their pre-color war blocks. Pre-color war blocks. Goodness gracious. The pre-war color blocks. Then you got meme terms. TKR agrees pineapple does not belong on That's actually base. Good on Midgard for that. Purple Moon will draw a purple elephant and send it to the Commonwealth. TKR must post once a week for 10 weeks an animal gift to Dark Brotherhood Embassy, and they must admit Chinese hairless Chrysalids are the cutest, bestest boys. Evil Piggy and Aurora agree to exchange Christmas cards. Isn't it a bit late for that because we're in January, but that's fine anyways. So there you go. That's all the stuff. Yep, that's the piece I had nothing to say. Although I do want to see real quick what people have been saying for 5 pages because I followed the thread some, but I kind of quit earlier. So let me look here. Now, there's been one analysis, which is that in putting in the peace term, that TKR admits the CB is legitimate. Yeah, like Sargon says it on the 4th page. I do think that putting that in there is like all it like it literally is. It literally is holding someone at gunpoint to agree with you. Like, it really is that way. It really makes it seem like your position is weak, which is why you had to force your opposition to agree with you at gunpoint. Like now, now like Epi did this before, and I thought it didn't look good either, or it made the CB like look like a joke because forcing someone that you're to say that your CB is legitimate is wild. But you know what happens? What happens is two things. One, people can now how far it goes with people is another topic, but the admission can like decision makers who stand to benefit from that admission can point to it and say, look, we're right. And that's not nothing. And secondly, as the years go on and people ask about these wars and whatnot, all that's going to be written in the record is that the other side admit that the CB was true. So in the moment, it does make the position look weak, but politically, I think it could be a net plus. So there you go. I think it could be kind of wild, but I mean, it could also work. So it is what it is. And so Wizel stepped down, and Canbec is now in charge. I like Wizel a lot. I like Canbec, and I know really nothing else about the inner workings of TKR. But I think you have one competent person being released by another competent person. So good luck to both. I'm sure the orange people are in good hands. And Canbec's first order upon taking over was to drop Carthago. And that's interesting because okay, guys, you guys know more than I do. Why did they drop Carthago? What was wrong with Carthago that they decided to? I talked about cause CTO bad. Okay. Decagon. Already talked about HOGG hitting Fortuna, and I talked about Cataclysm and Paradise surrendering to Rose. Now we're talking about TKR and name withheld cutting ties with CTO. After this, I'll talk about the merge, and then I'll talk about the topics at the bottom. CTO bad. Okay. I know nothing else. I hope Carthago can find some friends so they don't get raided to death. The Wei and SRF are merging. I have no opinion. Good luck to them. I think SRF need a name that's pronounceable, and that's all. The Resource Production Center no longer works if you jerk off for 5 days. I think that's a good change because the game probably is flush with resources, and I think punishing inactivity is cool. So I'm fine with that change. The awards is going on. I don't care because ideally the awards would be, hey, what was the best this or what was the worst that, and you would have people independently come together to decide what they think in their heart's heart is the answers. But what actually happens is all the people who want to win tell people to go vote, and they organize mass voting. And so instead of someone or something winning on the merits, instead you have this coordination happen. And so it happened. We had here in Thalmor, we had the themed flag vote, and both House Dark and Aurora coordinated to try to win that. So instead of having a really nice vote to decide which art is best, instead um, bullshit happens. So, I don't know, same thing. Food is 200 price per unit because people keep fighting wars and launching nukes. It's probably not going to get better because now all of HOGG is launching nukes. So good luck. Dark Brotherhood looted Kazuko's offshore, and that's proof that Kev is right. And the Dark Brotherhood is getting better because they were able to loot an offshore, and that's really funny to me. There's no mass voting on these. You know what? That is right. When it comes to the politics and war awards, Shifty's not Shifty. Oh my gosh, Alex is doing the thing where it's going to be like community representatives, and that's probably a better system. Here in Thalmoria, we're also probably going to overhaul our voting. We might make it. Well, actually, I don't know. Never mind. We might not. I've been talking to Zig about it, and originally my idea would be only Thalmorites, the blue people, could vote, but Zig convinced me maybe not to do that. So, we'll see. Zig, just voting in general. Decagon, where is you? You sent me a screenshot of the forms. Where is that thread at? I cannot find it. Please give me the link to that thread. I want to see it because apparently there is a guy, there is a dude, there is a homie named Butter, and Alex has descended from the heavens, sword in hand, to cut his dick off, and now Butter is dickless, and people are talking about it for some reason. And so Decagon sent me a screenshot of Alex cutting Butter's dick off, and I need to see why. Doctor Rush was in Ron saying that like Butter had fucked up big time, which is why it was a cross ban. Butter wasn't banned from any one politics and war entity. He was banned from all of them, and that rarely happens. That only happens when you're like on a new level. He got banned for threatening to do some bad things to another player. Well, that's what happens. Why would you for threatening to do some bad things to another player? So there are multiple ways to interpret this because it's like, did he threaten to rape someone? Did he threaten to kill someone? Did he threaten to go to someone's house? Like, but it's like, why would you? Oh my gosh, to rape someone? That was it? To rape multiple people? Threaten to rape several girls? That is crazy. Because it's like, first off, to be okay, so like I think he is banned, Abyss. So how does that happen? Of what mind would you have to be in to be like, yeah, I'm gonna threaten to rape you? And to do it to multiple people. Like, how do you get to that level? I don't know. I'm not crazy. So, one thing I've learned, so I love my mom, but my mom has some crazy friends. And sometimes me and my mom will talk, and she'll be like, Thalmor, what do you think that my friend is thinking? And her friend is crazy. And so I have to tell my mom, like, I think I'm pretty good about thinking what other people are thinking and why they're thinking it. But when it comes to crazy people, like I cannot put myself into their head because they're crazy, and I'm not. I mean, okay, fine. I play politics and war, all right, and I play Magic. Like, okay, fine. I'm like my own insanity, but like, but this friend is someone who almost every day is like, Thalmor, do you think I'm gonna die? Do you think like this is the end for me? And this is a woman who has actually nothing wrong with her. But every day she's like this. And it the peak example was that this woman is 70 and has a 50-year-old son. And this woman said to my mom, yeah, ever since Matthew was born, I thought I wasn't going to get out of this alive. And my mom was like, well, when was that? And she said, well, when Matthew was born. And that was 50 years ago. So for 50 years, this woman has been saying to herself that she wasn't going to make it out alive. And it's like, you know what, woman, you're actually right. You're actually not making it out of, you're actually not going to make it out of here alive. You're actually right on that one. But then mom was like, Thalmor, what do you think? What do you think she's thinking? And it's like, I can't tell you, mom. I can tell you what Bill thinks. I can tell you what this person thinks. I cannot tell you what this person thinks because they're crazy. And so I'm trying to imagine where you would have to be to threaten to rape multiple women on the internet on a game. And I just cannot do it because, like, I will joke about threatening to attack someone. What Sam Hyde got into a boxing fight. Hold on. Okay, so Sam Hyde got into a boxing fight, and at the end of it, he threatened to go to Hassan Piker's house and kill him. And someone clipped Sam Hyde going, I'm coming to kill you! I said that really bad. He does it with an Irish accent, though, so it's really iconic. I would very easily post that and ping some. This was actually my plan for the HOGG Blitz. Was I was going to ping Syndicate and Eclipse with that video. I didn't because the Blitz went really awful.
You got anyone you want to call out in the heavyweight division?
Oh,
like,
you know,
I would
lad.
do that.
You know that.
But to seriously threaten someone, I couldn't do it because, like,
or in the ring.
No, in real life.
Because it's
I'm
low
going to stalk
energy.
him and become obsessed with him and wear his makeup and his dresses
because
and use his skin as a coat, like the ancient Irish did.
People project.
Well,
and so people who say they're nice are probably not nice. People who say they're smart are probably not smart. That's why I hate speaking. I do think highly of myself, but I don't really like to say. I don't like to describe myself highly, though,
what's the one
because
right
I think people who
that's not gonna
do
be around
are
in
usually
2070?
bullshitting themselves, And so I don't like to pop smoke up my own ass and stuff. And this also applies to, like, people who make threats. So a very common one, for example, is threatening litigation. People will threaten litigation all the time. And the reality of litigation in America is that there is strict criteria for what you can sue someone for torts, for damages. And then you have to have, about court, it's not about what's true, it's about what can be proven. And so even if you were genuinely wronged, unless there's some kind of paper trail or photos or witnesses to something, your case is fucked. And the biggest barrier to all is that litigation is expensive. My attorney, I have an attorney, and he is $250 an hour. If I wanted to call him for 15 minutes to ask him a question, it costs $65. I can go buy a new video game for $60, pay taxes, and still have a couple dollars left over to get like a 2-liter of soda to go with the game. And that game will last me 20 hours. But 15 minutes of my attorney's time is $65. His retainer for any kind of like serious work is $1,500. Oh, you want a will? $1,500. Oh, you want me to like help you set up an LLC? $1,500. If you wanted to sue someone, like, you're talking tens of thousands. It would take $5,000 just to get started, probably. To actually litigate a case over the course of like a year, 2 years, 3 years, you're talking tens of thousands of dollars. So people who threaten litigation, like, it usually doesn't happen. Like, if you're going to get sued, you're just going to get sued. Like, someone who's really going to sue you probably isn't going to threaten you. And I'm saying all this to come to loop back around here. Like, someone who's actually going to fuck you up isn't going to threaten you. They'll just do it. Like, okay, like mobsters, they probably do regularly make threats because, you know, that's part of the racket. But like, I think if someone's really going to fuck you up, I don't think you're going to see it coming. And so, you know, I don't really think I have it in me to hurt someone. I think I would to protect myself or those that I care about. But like, in real life, if you insult me or like someone I know, like, I'm not going to punch you or hurt you. And so I'm just not going to make threats. Like, if someone was actually going to push me to do something to them, I'm not going to threaten them because I don't think I would do it. And if I thought I would do it, then I wouldn't threaten them because like, why would I let them know I was going to do it? So I don't know what kind of person. Actually, I'm lying. I know what kind of person would. It would be a crazy person who like has some really big problems wrong with it. That's the kind of person who would threaten to rape multiple girls on a game. Like, whew. It kind of is like the Icandor. They really should stop being crazy, Sig. You're right. Yeah, so crazy. So I'm glad Butter is banned. Fuck him. Wait a minute. Didn't I once have a policy that I didn't like for Alex to be monitoring out of game stuff? And aren't I contradicting that by saying fuck Butter? Oh well, I don't care. It's okay. It's okay. Thalmor, hashtag hypocrite. Hashtag hashtag hypocrite. There you go. So slay all the younglings in Borg is so hold on. That there is a train of thought that I find compelling that Anakin was justified in killing the younglings, and that is that the younglings are armed. They are armed with lightsabers. They are partially trained. Therefore, they are armed combatants. So therefore, it's justified to attack them. That is actually kind of that actually makes sense to me. That the younglings were actually fair targets under the laws of war. Because they're armed with lightsabers. And they are trained. So, makes sense to me. Oh, training lightsabers? Okay, well, maybe they weren't armed then. Yeah, but they're also like 7 years old. So how well can they? Oh, hold on. I accidentally clicked the sticker, so now it's HOGG posting time. Post HOGGs. Um. Um. So it appears that I have run out of topics. How's your bench? What? What bench? I'm confused. Oh, right now I use 20-pound dumbbells. I can go higher, but I'm waiting until the 20-pound, like, well, I don't know actually, because I'm doing pretty well with them. So maybe it is about time I move up some weight. Are you pressing or curling? I'm doing both. I got only a couple different exercises that I do. I eventually do want to like, go to the gym proper, but right now I'm just at home using dumbbells. I'm also only training my arms and my upper body. I'm not really doing my legs. What I want to do with my legs is I actually have like there's a mountain next to me with a trail. I'm just going to walk up it to train my legs. I quit doing squats. So what I was doing was I was working out outside in the sun shirtless, which I really liked. Now that's gotten colder, I can't do that, and that's gotten me out of it. I'm trying right now just to reestablish the habit of working out. That's what I'm really trying to do. Um, but yeah, maybe it is about time that I go ahead and add some weights because um, I started working out with. I'm trying to think. I started out in July with 12s. I moved up to 20s in August sometimes, and I've just stayed at 20s. And then as the months went on, I did it less and less till I stopped. Now I'm just trying to keep the habit. Just trying to keep the habit. But I do want to go to the gym. And I found out a karate place nearby actually teaches boxing. And so I want to go there. Um and start taking boxing classes. And that's when I'm gonna do that this year because I'm gonna do it for years. And now that I know a place that's like 20 minutes away, I'm gonna do it. You're doing cardio as well? I am not. I'm just trying. I need to do cardio. I need to do cardio, but I'm just trying to get the habit with the weights. That's my biggest thing. I agree, P2K. That's what I'm concerned about. But like I said, I do want to go to the gym proper and do full body stuff. Maybe like three times a week or something. All right, I think that's it for the game. Final call, politics and war. Any final topics to go over? Damn, all the well, no, Pascal's still here. All of the guests left. Like Sketchy was gone, Abyss is gone, Juana's gone, Tarok, Vine, but Pascal's still here. Pascal is still monitoring the show to make sure I'm not too out of the line. Who's going to win the rewards? Who knows? This has been recorded, Spinks. This has been recorded. Can HOGG still win? Well, the hope would be that we drag out the war to a positive net, and in doing so, we frustrate the members of Eclipse in the syndicate to where we could get something like White Peace. That would be the strategy, I think. Pretty standard for being on the losing side to try to do that. Pascal, what kind of terms are we looking at? When Vass comes to you on his knees, ready to surrender, what kind of terms are you going to impose on us? As Gandalf did come over the hill, so also helps him come to Hogg's aid. I don't know about that. Pascal says, I don't know. I'm against Trump. I'm a nice guy. Damn. Pascal. Pascal the Peacemaker. Those demand bicep pics. Well, guys, I'm working with 20-pound dumbbells because I don't have the biggest biceps, so Vine is not though. Damn. Peaceful Pascal is going to give the decision over to Vicious Vane, who is going to demand the disbandment of Hands of Fate. It's gonna be awful, folks. Alright, I forgot a 6.9 month nap. That's a bit, well. How about like 6.9 months? I'm trying to think of a period of time that's meme worthy, but not quite that long. 420 is better. 420 is better. 6.9, a 69-day nap. Okay, yeah, 69 days. I think that works. 420-year nap. Oh wow. Okay, so Butter got banned for threatening to rape girls. It's actually pretty absurd when you really think about it. That's actually pretty wild. Oh shit! I actually got to play Magic with my friends, so I think it's probably over. 69 HOGG members delete. Gosh, that would break my heart. That would break my heart. I actually did learn that an OG KT person has returned to the game, and he deemed me on the forums of all things. But a guy who quit during MPO's last time did return, and I am stoked at that. And he said that he does plan on returning that to us. So very. I haven't even told government. I haven't even told IA this yet. I need to do that. But this is an OG KT person, so that made me really happy. I am in Kentucky, P2K. I am in the bluegrass. Yeah, I used DMs on the forum some, like years ago, before the forum upgrade, I think. It is cold. It was warm, but it's cold now. Yeah, about 40s. About 40s. I think that's it. Any real life topics you guys want me to touch on real quick? Pepperoni, Decagon. Pepperoni. Quick real life topics, then we're done. Speaker voted. Yes, there's been like 13 votes, and McCarthy has yet to win. I think it's really funny. Apples, Decagon. Are apples fruit or are they vegetables? What do you think about the guy who got arrested? Who? PT, how can I get rich? So, there are 3 pathways to wealth. Actually 4. Number 1 is like family wealth. If you have like a rich family, this was me. I have my family got rich. Now they've lost all of it basically, but Like family is one way. Winning the lottery is the second way. Becoming a like white collar professional, like a lawyer or a doctor, is another way. Or IT is big for that. But to me, the best way to get rich in the fourth way is to operate some kind of business, to start your own business and like grow it. That seems to be the best way to get rich. That is most accessible to people. So there you go. Andrew Tate got arrested for human trafficking. I don't like Andrew Tate because he's a sex trafficker. I've never liked him because of that. And as Tomato says, he got caught because of he made a video trying to dunk on Greta because that's what Andrew Tate is supposed to be this like alpha male Chad, right? He's got the money, he's got the cars, he's got the women, and he is a man of means and prestige, right? And what does he do with it? He gets into slap fights with teenage girls. Like that is the glory of Andrew Tate, is he fights with girls on Twitter. Now at least he doesn't threaten to rape them. Instead he actually rapes them apparently. So actually that's actually not better at all now that I'm saying it out loud and thinking about it. But that's what Andrew Tate does. He gets into fights online with little girls. And in doing so, the authorities saw a pizza box from a Romanian pizza place. They knew he was home and they got him. The Romanian feds got him. And Andrew Tate did all this bluster in the past. I own all of these guns. If they come for me, I will defend myself. Motherfucker, they knocked on your door and you gave yourself up. There was no glorious final stand against the government. Motherfucker, they said, Mr. Tate, we know you're in there. Come on out. And you fucking walked out, hands up in the air, bitch. All because you had to dunk on the little Swedish girl that has fetal alcohol syndrome. Fuck you, Andrew Tate. I hope he gets sentenced to prison because that's funny. And they seized all of his cars and all of his guns. And I think that's awesome. Fuck Andrew Tate. I do not like him. If you acquire this status and these riches, if you become a modern aristocrat, the archetype of the aristocrat is like someone who yes, you have wealth and status, but you also have a duty to the people below you, a duty to the people under you. You're supposed to use that wealth and status to further your people, your country. And Andrew Tate didn't do that. He chose instead to engage in organized crime and be a social media whore. And there's no virtue there. There's nothing good there. He deserves to lose everything because he got all these blessings. The Lord let him prosper, and he chose to not do any good with it, and now he's probably lost it all, and he deserves it. But that's what happens when you have no integrity. You choose instead to make videos, get into slap fights with girls half your age online, and I'm repeating myself at this point, so I'll quit. Void Walker says, found a business, become successful, find a way to shaft your co-founders out of their shares. Or just go into business by yourself with no partners. But that does mean, it's only your money that you have to do stuff with. So we'll get your electrical license this year, hopefully. Well, congratulations on that. Congratulations. Let me catch up with the chat here. What color's your Bugatti? And now he doesn't have a Bugatti. So fucking hashtag owned. Hashtag owned. What color's your Bugatti, Andrew Tate? Well, you don't even have one. Let's see here. Can you guys hear me? Is the bot playing music? Oh my gosh, it took forever for it to play. All right. I think that's it. Fuck Andrew Tate. I'm going to go buy P2K. I think I'm going to go play Magic with my friends. The speaker vote. The speaker vote, McCarthy has lost like 13 votes because there's a small holdout of Republicans who are like saying fuck you, McCarthy. And I think that's based. Fuck McCarthy. McCarthy does not stand for Republican values, conservative values. He's a fuckhead. And causing him headache is really funny to me. I despise Logan and Jake Paul. There is virtue in how they've picked up boxing and have trained to become excellent fighters. That is virtuous, but time and time again, I keep seeing articles that just indicate how they just lack they lack any moral standing. Logan is in trouble right now because he supported an NFT project that was a scam and he refused to take responsibility. In fact, he's threatening to sue the guy who exposed him, CoffeeZilla. I just don't think they're good people. Before the boxing stuff, I think maybe it was Jake Paul. There were videos of him with a loaded rifle, like an AR-15, running around pointing it at people in his house, scaring them. Like, they're just not good people. They're like Andrew Tate. They have all of the status and wealth and fame, and they don't use it for anything good. So the virtue is in the discipline to excel at it. Can you change your Thalmor server icon to reflect your loyalty to the Russian Federation? The Ukrainian colors are to me. I like blue and gold because it has nothing to do with Ukraine. My icon was blue and gold to begin with. The gold is for royalty, and blue is my favorite color. The Thalmor symbol being blue and gold has nothing to do with Ukraine, and so it will remain how it is. Theresa May, isn't King Charles actually kind of popular right now? Maybe you guys will. Maybe the British Empire will be restored. Oh, I thought he was. Okay. What are my thoughts on the war? Not like the lines on the map never really change, so I'm kind of like bored and don't care. All right, final call. Politics and war, real life, final topics. You got any final? If you want any final hot takes, now's the time to get it. This is your last chance before we gotta wait 2 more weeks until January 19th. Between now and January 19th is your final chance to get your Thalmor fix. All right, Zig, play the theme and end the. Yeah, because January 13th is listening to radio. No, wait, hold on. No, January 20th. January 20th. Now is the final chance to get your last Thalmor Vix between now and January 20th. So speak now or forever hold your peace. All right, Zig, play the theme and then end the recording when the theme is done. Let's get out of here. I gotta go play Magic Finger.
Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Thalmor Radio. Yeah, he's coming at you from on the top. Oh no, no, he won't stop. Thalmor Radio. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Thalmor Radio.
Thalmor Radio.
Good night.